A hearty serving of oatmeal has long been hailed as a cornerstone of nutritious mornings, and that reputation is well-deserved. However, there's a vital truth that slips past many in the senior set. Crossing into your 60s often brings a subtle shift where your vascular pathways start to lose their natural give. The extras you fold into that comforting bowl hold the power to tip the scales, either nurturing enduring suppleness or permitting insidious accumulations to erode your flow bit by bit. Sure, oatmeal solo provides a commendable base, but it falls short against the entrenched residues of years or the subtle frailties creeping into your circulatory framework. Enter this exploration, unveiling the premier quintet of enhancers to weave into your dawn ritual. These are unpretentious, harvest-born treasures designed to gently scour lipids from your system, invigorate your inner currents, and anchor your cardiac vitality with quiet resolve. Hang tight through the close as the top contender, the one that steals the spotlight, unleashes the swiftest surge to your vitality, often reshaping your pathways in a matter of days. Prior to plunging ahead, share an exchange. Hail from which corner of the world do you join us, and what's the pulse on your well-being these days? Kicking off with the fifth, cinnamon. To the average palate, cinnamon is merely the aromatic whisper that elevates a plain porridge. Yet for those seasoned by 6 decades, it emerges as a subtle sentinel warding off a frequently ignored architect of vascular tautness and residue, the corrosive touch of unchecked sweetness. Your morning repast inevitably stirs a rise in circulating glucose, but maturity, compounded by lifetimes of convenience feasts and milled grains, dulls the machinery that tames those elevations. Surplus sugars bind to the structural fibers of your conduits, forging adhesive clusters that render the linings unyielding and prone to swelling. This phenomenon, termed glycation by the learned, stands as a prime instigator in the narrative of vascular maturation. Cinnamon, in its understated grace, serves as a poised moderator. It tempers the velocity at which starches unravel into their sugary essence, guiding your physiology toward harmonious equilibrium rather than turbulent leaps. Envision it as a serene conductor for your vital streams. Empirical inquiries demonstrate that incorporating the spice steadfastly can diminish baseline glucose and heighten insulin acuity by a striking quarter. Such equilibrium in your sugars fosters pathways that remain sleek and yielding, yet its gifts extend further. Brimming with polyphenol guardians, it fortifies your vessels against eruptive irritations and marauding oxidative foes, comparable to a nurturing dawn embrace for your circulatory web. Those in their later chapters who embrace it routinely often recount amplified poise in their vigor, heightened clarity of thought, and diminished lulls as noon approaches. In selecting your ally, favor the Ceylon strain, the authentic, softer soul, over its more assertive kin, for it harbors scant traces of coumarin, a natural element that might tax hepatic function in excess. Initiate with a gentle half-teaspoon, showered upon your completed oats to preserve its ethereal volatiles and scents. How wondrous that a mere dash of this commonplace elixir can reshape not solely the sensory delight of your inaugural meal, but the enduring fortitude of your life's engine. Far beyond flavor, cinnamon bestows upon your grains the elixir of perpetual youth for your inner thoroughfares. Claiming 4th place, extra virgin olive oil. Prepare for a revelation that defies convention. A lustrous ribbon of premium extra virgin olive oil cascading over your oatmeal. An odd pairing on the surface, perhaps, but this unassuming practice harbors profound potential for your vessels beyond the 60th milestone. Revered as nature's molten treasure, this ambrosial essence ranks among the foremost custodians of cardiac harmony, replete with polyphenol sentries that quell insurgent swells, forestall the sclerosis of convoluted barriers, and liberate your essence to meander unburdened. In the tapestry of advancing seasons, these phenolic allies gain paramount urgency as they coax forth the silken, adaptable essence of your vascular lattice, rendering it resilient without rigidity. Through rigorous cohort examinations, individuals imbibing a mere 1 to 2 spoonfuls each day register profound reductions in that infamous LDL, the lipid scourge that festers in your pipes, coupled with tempered pressures, enhanced vascular resilience, and a diminished specter of cardiac affliction by nearly a third. To the elder cohort, these evolutions transcend mere metrics. They manifest as palpable graces, A gentle thaw in your distal reaches, alleviated burdens post-feast, pulses of measured cadence, and unwavering acuity from first light to eventide. The concealed artistry? This nectar doesn't labor in isolation. It potentiates the virtues drawn from your oat ensemble, compelling every portion to labor with amplified zeal for your core. The cornerstone lies in purity. Elect only the cold extracted, unadulterated extra virgin. Shun the pallid or amalgamated impostors, whose rigors of refinement have leached their phenolic potency. Paramount. Withhold it from the flame's grasp, lest fervor unravel its salubrious weave. Rather, bestow a solitary teaspoon atop your warm creation moments before indulgence. It imparts a creamy, understated opulence, transmuting your sustenance into a veritable balm for the soul's pump. Each pearl toils in shadowed diligence, cultivating light channels, robust eddies, and an enveloped guardian, one aurora at a stretch. Third in line, blueberries. Gaze upon these compact cerulean titans, minuscule marvels orchestrated for the rejuvenation of time-tempered conduits. Their profound, luminous tint serves no superficial role. It heralds the bounty of anthocyanins within, formidable antioxidants that encase your vessels in an inner bastion. The inexorable march of years amplifies assaults from capricious free radicals, those anarchic entities that scar the tender interiors of your pathways, coarsening and constricting them. The overture to encrusted formations. Blueberries marshal as an indefatigable reclamation force. Quelling those agitators, air devastation takes root. Conceive of them as infinitesimal bulwarks, upholding polished potency and pliancy. A landmark inquiry in the Journal of Nutrition chronicled grown souls, savoring a daily measure. Their conduit adaptability and throughput ascended markedly. Complementary scholarship illuminated the berry's prowess in elevating nitric oxide, a molecular envoy that coaxes your barriers to ease, bestowing refined eddies, subdued pressures, and augmented conveyance of breath's gift across your form. For the venerable, this alchemy yields discernible diurnal dividends, a bloom of warmth and extremities, equilibrated rhythms, incisive mindfulness, and amplified resolve for perambulations or domestic pursuits, emblems of an ascending inner tide. Incorporate approximately a half measure of pristine or crystalline gems into your oats. The latter retain their essence, garnered and enshrined at apogee. As they yield to the gentle heat, they exude a lavish amethyst nectar, a vivid testament to their defensive infusions permeating your fare. Spurn the preserved or saccharine veils, whose infusions might unravel the intended boons. For diversification, entwine with siblings such as raspberries or blackberries, broadening the phalanx of safeguards. With each morsel, you transcend mere nourishment. You orchestrate a matutinal overhaul for your conduits. Blueberries evoke renewal incarnate, a saucer subdued resurgence from core to crown. Second spot, flax seeds. Though diminutive to the eye, these kernels ascend as colossi in the realm of conduit preservation. Dismissed by the masses, they conceal one of the densest reservoirs of dissolvable threads in verdant omega, 3 variants. Twin sentinels for crystalline, steadfast, and accommodating pathways. Flax enacts as an organic whisk within, its fibrous lattice ensnaring lipid vagrants amid your inner voyage, ushering them to expulsion prior to their petrification into obstructions. It's a tender diurnal purification for your vital avenues. A pivotal experiment tracked devotees of daily flax. Their adversarial LDL ebbed by 1/10 in scarcely a lunar cycle. Yet the tapestry unfurls broader. Affluent in alpha-linolenic acid, ELA. This omega, 3 essence pacifies the tempest within your barriers. When tranquility reigns in your channels, your lifeblood courses unbound, ferrying aeration to your vital quartet. Pump, intellect, sinew, sans impediment. Numerous in seniority discern modest yet momentous metamorphoses upon integration, a softening in peripheral chills, unstrained inhalations, a persistent dawn elevation, all harbingers of innate circulatory ascension. A pivotal counsel. Employ the pulverized form exclusively. Intact casings frequently evade assimilation, forfeiting their trove. Procure them pre-comminuted or pulverize afresh via your vortex, then sequester and chill to safeguard their lipid purity. Integrate a spoonful into your tempered oats, permitting a subtle coagulation. Its timbre is subdued, earthy, harmonizing seamlessly with orchard gifts or ambrosial drips. A trivial alteration forging an eternal rampart. Per ladle, it methodically banishes extraneous, etching unencumbered trails for perpetual vitality. A momentary interlude ere revealing our paramount champion. Should these revelations resonate, a gesture of acclaim and allegiance to senior vital health amplifies our reach. Enlightening fellow elders, chronicle your odysseys below. Such tales are our sustenance. Onward to the apex. The unforeseen virtuoso that accelerates flux and thwarts vascular occlusion post-maturity with astonishing alacrity. The crown, walnuts. Austere and veneer, these nuts cradle an unparalleled consortium of elements for patent, adaptable, evergreen conduits. Regard them as petite artisans, liberating your core and barriers to resonant cadence anew. Preeminent among their kin, walnuts brim with superlative omega, 3 reservoirs, oxidative wards, and L-arginine, a protein that transmutes to nitric oxide, the subtle decree compelling your pathways to relent, permitting untrammeled, frictionless passage. Maturity attenuates our intrinsic nitric forge, spawning frosty fringes, languid restorations, and ascended barometers, a common lament of later vitality. Walnuts counter this ebb. Scholarly validations affirm a humble daily cluster markedly augments barrier adaptability and curtails triglycerides, those insidious adipose allies of affliction. Succinctly, they rekindle resilience, mirroring the fluidity of bygone eras. Pioneers in seniority perceive the pivot promptly, frequently in a fortnight span. Enriched eddies, equilibrated gauges, refined discernment, protracted auroral buoyancy. No enchantment, merely the symphony of soma in your service. Moreover, vitamin E, magnesium, and polyphenol cohorts shield your barrier bastions from erosive onslaughts, deterring lipid adhesion. This legion sustains your circulatory dominion across facets. Form, flux, fortification. Optimal ordnance. 4 to 5 segments at the break of day. Fragment post-preparation to retain snap and unspoiled essences. Forfend the brined or enrobed variants. Their interlopers erode the cardiac covenant. Persever. It's a modest deposition accruing to monumental merit. Endow your avenues with the sinews for endurance, versatility, unfettered torrent. Surpassing mere sustenance, it's cardiac communion in a chalice, addressing common curiosities. By this juncture, queries likely stir. Riveting yet cadence? Imperative to orchestrate the full ensemble each dawn. Pertinent probes. Let's illuminate with clarity. Commence with rhythm. For the majority traversing 60, enshrining this vascular aegis in your inaugural feast emerges as an elemental, potent rite. Grains, flax kernels, spice, indigo orbs, nut fragments, all benign earthlings, amenable to diurnal devotion and commanding cumulative potency. Extremes unnecessary. Fidelity alone suffices. In cardiac stewardship, infinitesimal persistences cascade to cataclysmic evolutions, uniting the cadre unequivocally, and therein blooms authentic alchemy. Dubbed nutrient confluence, these naturals exalt one another's labors within. Flaxes we've optimized as berry sentinel uptake. Nut lipids unlock spices conduit covenants. An arcane insight. The olive nectar's ribbon unifies, its phenolics as couriers, magnifying pure assimilations while directly anointing your barriers for flux and fortitude. If gradual appeals layer sequentially, flax inaugural week, spice subsequent, then phased indigo, nuts, nectar veil. Habituation precedes haste. Pursuit is steadfastness, not flawlessness. Temporal inquiry, aurora optimal, inaugurating sugar serenity. Vascular succor, unwavering spark till vesper. Vespertine lightness, equally efficacious, virtues undiminished. Cherished stratagem. Amass petite vessels of your parched triad, grains, flax powder, spice. Dawn. Infuse liquid, cascade indigo and nuts, veil with nectar. Bounty unfolds in moments. Quintessential. Advancement eclipses absolute. Tri-weekly indulgences. Your essence extols, facilitating silken surges, lipid lulls, barrier boldness, subtly reconstructing era's etchings. This eclipse's viance. It's a tender ablation to your core's continuum. Pre-finale. albeit these wholesomes whisper wellness. Attune to your vessel and commune with custodians' air dietary pivots, particularly amid elevations, glycemic guardians, or lipid legions. This dissemination enlightens, supplants not sage decree, discernment, or remedy. Invoke your sentinel or adept for your enigmas. Concise compendium. Infusing your auroral grains with these primal partners purges conduits, exalts eddies, reinforces your rhythm, all antecedent to meridian. Pulverized flax banishes baleful lipids, lulls inner infernos. Spice equilibrates sugars, barricades barrier breaches. Nectar ribbon, auric droplet, sustains avenues, subdues surges, potentiates pure potencies. Singular spoonful elevates cardiac aegis exponentially. Indigo mends interiors for luster and latitude. Nuts, ultimate arcane, reinvigorate relaxants, perpetuating patency and primacy. Conjoined, your dawn grain transcendent basin to machinal sacrament. Sustaining spark, sagacity, surge. Nibble by nibble. Pinnacle, no drafts, no adjuncts, no opulent interventions. Merely veritable vines, resolve auroral affection. Enkindled, acclaim, disseminate to kin, ally with senior vital health for elemental, evidence etch counsel toward amplified, protracted, luminous longevity. Content connoisseur, invoke super gratitude. A modest missive sustains our forge of empowerment for your fellowship. Minute mores birth majestic mutations.